Ladies and gentlemen, this morning the developers for Rise of Kingdoms responded to some popular community feedback posts and they shared it over on the official Discord. So today we're going to take a quick look at some of the community suggestions from February and I'll give you guys my thoughts and opinions on everything. But first, what's going on, guys? Cheers. I just made my coffee when this information dropped, so perfect timing. I hope you're all having a great morning, afternoon, evening, wherever in the world you are. Before we jump in, of course, I do want to remind you guys I am a partner creator with Rise of Kingdoms, which means they support a few videos on the channel every month, just like this one. But the most important support comes from you guys dropping a thumbs up down below and subscribing down below for more breaking news just like this. Okay, with all that being said, let's take a look here. Greetings, Governor. Welcome to another edition of Community Suggestions Developer Feedback. Below are some of the top suggestions submitted through the in-game suggestion channel. Remember, I always tell you guys, fill out the update feedback. Okay, always give the developers your suggestions because you never know. And of course, you can post your suggestions over on the official Rock Discord as well. Please note that not all suggestions are listed here, but every idea that met the required threshold has been forwarded to the development team for review. Question 1: add a end KVK / matchmaking button which only kings can trigger. If all kings within a KVK agree on hitting it, the map closes immediately / doesn't start, and all kingdoms are free to sign up for the next pop-up. If one king disagrees, it remains open. Also, a report should be drafted and sent to the person responsible for the matchmaking to review it. This way, stupid matchups can be fixed by the community, since Lilith evidently can't fix it themselves. Oh my god. Okay, so this was clearly a very salty individual who had a matchup that they felt was unfair. I like how they say person responsible, as if there's like one guy at Lilith who's just like putting together every single KVK in the game by hand. Like that's not what are you talking about? Right out of the gate, I do think that this is a good suggestion, but it comes off as really whiny. It comes off as really whiny, like, oh, I don't want to play the game against those guys. Something about whiners, it just makes me want to take this less seriously, even though I know objectively it's a good suggestion. All right, here's the answer. Thank you for your valuable input. We're excited to share that similar features are already in our development pipeline, and it's great to see alignment between player ideas and our design direction. While player feedback is critical for optimizing matchmaking, we want to make sure it works well for everyone before releasing it. Our main concerns for this feature are: will alliances instantly forfeit matches against top tier kingdoms even when the matchup is theoretically balanced? Yes, most of the time, yes. Could a single overpowered kingdom monopolize the entire Lost Kingdom map? To address these risks, we've implemented an interim solution. After each KVK matchmaking cycle, we distribute player satisfaction surveys at key KVK stages. Feedback from these surveys, especially for matches with unusually low satisfaction ratings, directly informs us of our matchmaking adjustments. We strongly encourage all players to share their candid opinions on these surveys. Regarding the proposed suggestion, we'll refine the design based on community feedback and conduct small scale testing first. Additionally, we're exploring other improvements to KVK matchmaking. Once the details are finalized, we'll share the complete plans through developer face-to-face or other format. I guess my response to this would be like, in the suggestion it says that if one king disagrees, it remains open, right? So then in theory that would solve the problem of being worried about, you know, people wanting to opt out because of a single top tier kingdom, right? Because in theory, if that top tier kingdom does not want the KVK to end, then they can single-handedly keep it open, in which case that problem would solve itself. So yeah, this is a tough one for me. Of course, obviously more power in the hands of the players is nice, but obviously players are known for abusing power, so it's like it's a give and take here. In games like Rise of Kingdoms, with so many thousands of players across the world, different time zones, different power levels, different commitment levels to the game, you're never gonna have perfect matchmaking. Like it's never gonna happen, right? Like it's just not even possible. I mean, no matchmaking system in any PvP game ever to exist has ever been perfect, right? So to have the expectation that Rise of Kingdoms is going to be the first game to ever perfect PvP matchmaking is like that's not a realistic expectation, right? It's never going to happen. And so like there's always going to be times where you're gonna be put in a KVK with matchmaking that you feel is unfair, right? And so, you know, on one hand, I'm sympathetic to the fact that, like, sure, there are definitely KVKs where matchmaking is not like it seems completely illogical perhaps that matchmaking would have occurred in the first place. But on the other hand, it's like part of the game is your teamwork as a kingdom, and how do you handle situations that are less than ideal. And sometimes you're gonna have to play in KVKs that you're not happy with, right? Like that's life, right? Like you don't always get your way, right? And so I don't know, I'm kind of torn on this one. I think that obviously matchmaking should always be improved, right? Like that's gonna always be a goal for the developers, is just make matchmaking better as best as it can be, obviously, right? Of course. But I just have this gut reaction to like whiners that I just can't, I'm biased, I can't get over it. I'm just like, oh, it drives me crazy. I'm like, man, that's just so cringe. I don't know. Anyway, it's good to know that this is a strong consideration and possibility for matchmaking, and like I said, any improvements to matchmaking are always good. Question 2, add a 2 to 3 minute option for barbarian fort rallies. Answer: currently we do not plan to make this feature permanent. However, we are considering the possibility of introducing a shorter rally time for barbarian forts during specific KVKs, events, or possibly as part of alliance/kingdom skills. This would help reduce the burden on players who need to complete certain fort related tasks. The main reason we don't plan to make this a permanent feature is that there's currently no cap on the alliance resources gained from chests earned through forts. Reducing rally time would further widen the gap in resource acquisition between kingdoms with different activity levels. By this they mean bots, by the way. We're concerned this could lead to a scenario where all kingdoms feel pressured to farm barbarian forts excessively over long periods, potentially encouraging the use of automation, bots, and compromising competitive integrity. Yes, exactly. I think this is reasonable as long as you give us a Barb Fort search feature. I will forgive you if you give us a Barb Fort search feature. Okay, it's especially bad when you go to like rally a fort and no one joins it, and then you come back in like 10 minutes and it says, sorry governor, no one joined your rally, and then you're like, wait a minute, where was that Barb Fort again? And you gotta like go look for it again. It's like, bro, maybe I'm stupid, maybe I'm missing something. Does the game tell you where the Barb Fort is that was canceled? I don't know, but like just at least let us search for him. At least, come on, if you're gonna keep it at 5 minutes, like let us at least search for it. I would also love if there was a way to have people from other alliances join your fort rallies. So for example, I'm just going to be perfectly transparent, if your farm account is in a farm alliance, it would be nice if you could like start the rally with your main account in the main alliance, have your farm account join it from the farm alliance, and then the question becomes, well, which alliance gets the trophy? And the answer goes to whoever started the rally. I think that's reasonable. Or maybe make it so that way individual players can add, or if let's say a player is on your friends list on your account, they can join your rallies, and then again the trophy just goes to whoever started the rally. This would at least make it easier to like solve the problem yourself as a player. That would be cool, right? But again, that would just probably lead to botting. So I don't know, I feel like I also want this to be a lot easier, but I can understand their concern with botting. Question 3, alliance mobilization event. Add the ability of auto turn-in quests when they're completed, or give R4 R5 the ability to do that if quests are completed and not turned in yet. Answer: we plan to make some adjustments to quest submission in the alliance mobilization event in an upcoming version, exact timing to be determined. The potential changes are as follows: the countdown will stop once a quest is completed, and the timeout failure condition will be removed. That's good. If a completed quest is not submitted within 24 hours, it will be automatically submitted by the system. Yeah, I'm trying to think of like, what's the downside of the auto submission though? Like, why not have it automatically like submit, complete, give you the reward? Like, why? I'm trying to think of like, I'm playing devil's advocate here in my mind. Like, why wouldn't that work? What's the purpose of requiring players submit it manually? I mean, it's early, so maybe my brain's just not working, but like, I don't know, just why not just have it auto complete? Same thing with bastions too. Like, if you complete a bastion, why not just have it just submit? Like, you did it, you're done, right? I don't know. I guess like with dailies, for example, like you still have to claim the daily quest, so I guess like that's kind of how everything is in the game, so I guess it makes sense. But in an event where like your completion, like other players are relying on your completion potentially to refresh that quest slot, I feel like at least in this event it should auto complete, right? Maybe not with bastions and dailies and stuff like that, but certainly with something, if other players are waiting on you, why not auto complete? I don't know. But either way, they have some changes that are coming which are good, so that's nice. Question 4, remaster expedition mode. This mode has the potential to be a story mode within the game with scenario battles that happened in real life, for example the Battle of Thermopylae or the Third Crusade led by Richard and Sal. Paladin. Thank you for enjoying the expedition mode. The expedition is primarily designed to help new players familiarize themselves with Rock's mechanics and combat in early stages, and there are currently no plans for further updates or expansion. Regarding player suggestions to experience historical battles, we will consider exploring that through new gameplay modes in the future. So RIP, ladies and gentlemen, to Expedition. It is confirmed Expedition is dead, which means if it's dead, there's probably never going to be a new commander there, which means we are doomed to get pathetically useless Ethelfled sculptures for the rest of time. It is very upsetting. I understand this from a design perspective. However, like, they argue that this is to familiarize with the mechanics, but like ever since Expedition came into the game, we got ranged combat. Like, where does it teach you ranged combat? Did they add it without me knowing? Is there a ranged combat mode in Expedition? I don't think there is, in which case Expedition does not familiarize new players with all the mechanics. I think there's actually an opportunity there to familiarize players with ranged mechanics, right? So I don't know. I think they might be a little premature with this. I do think that there is more that they could do with this, but at the same time, I also, like, if we think back to when Call of Dragons came out and every season Expedition refreshed, and it's just like, oh, I have to do it again, right? Like, no, absolutely not. So I can understand that there needs to be a balance here where like they can't dedicate a bunch of time to Expedition because a lot of players don't even like it, right? And so I can understand that, but I do think that there's still an opportunity to do something with Expedition. So for them to just come out and be like, yeah, no, it's dead, we're done with it, it's like, ah, that's kind of a bummer, right? I mean, maybe don't go as far as like scenario battles and like doing all that, and maybe that's doing too much, but like, I don't know, every couple of years throw in a few levels and add some new commanders to get familiar. Like, you could familiarize players with like mighty healing and true damage, and with a expedition level that has like Choi Young as like the garrison, and you have to like rally it and overcome that. I don't know, I still think there's stuff that they could do that's kind of interesting with Expedition and give players cool rewards for it. But I guess if we're gonna get more gameplay modes that are better than Expedition, then that's a trade-off that I'm willing to make. So I guess it's that's a decent trade. Question 5, make the Karuak levels open sooner. What's the point of opening them so late? Most fighting in KVK ends before the 4th and 5th levels opened. True, big true, biggest true ever. This has been a no-brainer for years. I feel like it's like, what's going on here? So we will be making some adjustments to the Karuak in the next version. The 3rd difficulty will be unlocked before Pass 7 opening, with a slight reduction in the total crystal rewards for that level. Okay, the number of levels required to challenge Karuak in all difficulties will be reduced. The difficulty curve remains unchanged, so that's good. I feel like 30 is a lot, so if they lower it to like 25 or 20, that's probably good. I'm happy about that, right? But that, I feel like they didn't even really answer the question. Like, what? I don't know. What's the point? Genuinely, like, there is actually, this is like, what is the point? That is the real question. What is the point in opening it so late? There's no point in getting those crystals if fighting is over. You might as well not even put it in the game, right? If it's going to open that late. If you want to open it sooner and lower the crystals, fine, but opening it late is like, just delete the 5th level then. Like, I don't even understand the point of it, honestly. Kind of just a waste of time. So it looks like they're improving it slightly, but it doesn't seem like they're improving the thing that everyone has been asking for forever. So I don't know, maybe we'll just have to wait and see, but happy to see at least a little bit of an improvement here. Question 6, flags auto self-demolished. There are many abandoned alliances with no intention of reconstructing a fort, or not allowed to, as they are disrupted for the kingdom they are in, or it could be all the players from that alliance migrated out to a previous point. So my suggestion is flags self-demolished after 90 days staying disconnected. This would allow kingdoms to clean up the mess left by others for whatever that reason may be, and save essential alliance credits for KVK. We appreciate this thoughtful suggestion. We will add a similar feature in future updates. Okay, so auto demolishing flags confirmed. That's cool. Question 7, Nature's Gift should spawn level 9 nodes instead of level 7 and 8. Since we now have level 7 and 8 nodes available on the home kingdom map, it is a downgrade to use Nature's Gift. By letting it spawn level 9 nodes, it gets its original purpose for home kingdom back. This is a great suggestion. We will optimize in future updates. Yes, everyone kind of knew that that was the case. Question 8, give us a walk home button in dot mode. We're considering adding a quick return to city button to make mobile gameplay smoother. I like that a lot. This is one of the big advantages of playing on PC, is that I just press the R key on on my keyboard and it sends all my marches home, right? And so as I'm going in and out of combat, I press the A key, it selects all of my marches, I'm right clicking to attack the enemy, and as I overextend or it's an unfavorable position, I just smack the R key and then I hit the A key again, and then I can move my armies a little bit close. So yeah, it's a nice improvement to play on PC for that reason. Having a walk home button dot mode would be great, as long as it's not intrusive and you're not accidentally clicking it. That would be annoying. Finally, question 9, can you add an official map planner tool with features like resource / terrain filters, drawing tools, and territory assignments for KVK / home kingdom planning? Also, please restore the coordinate search function for KVK maps removed in recent updates to help territory planners prepare. Thank you for sharing this great idea with us. We've already begun designing a similar feature and it will be introduced in an upcoming update. So that's pretty big. That's exciting. People can start to plan out their KVK and home kingdom maps. I like to see that. Giving more power and tools to the players is good. I'm not involved in kingdom or KVK like map planning or anything like that, so I don't know how big of a deal this will be, but I can imagine that it is very helpful to have in-game tools like this. So shout out to the developers for working on that. Anyway guys, that's actually everything from this community suggestions here. This was not a massive community feedback here. I feel like this was kind of a bunch of little short questions and answers, but at least we do have some clarity on some of these things, some different game modes, Karuak, some upcoming matchmaking changes potentially. So that is that's some exciting stuff here. Let me know what you guys think about these changes in the comment section below. How do you feel about KVK matchmaking right now? How do you feel about Alliance mobilization event and the expedition mode being completely killed? Let me know what you think about that in the comment section below. I'm really it's unfortunate, I would say, that we will probably never see a replacement for Ethelfled as a result of this right here. That's kind of unfortunate, but if we get better gameplay modes in the future, then I guess that's fine. But let me know in the comment section below what you think about all this stuff, and while you're down there, drop a thumbs up on the video. It really helps out the channel a ton. It helps get this video out to the YouTube algorithm so other Rise of Kingdoms players might see it, and consider subscribing to the channel and clicking the bell to be notified the next time I upload a Rise of Kingdoms video. With that being said guys, thank you so much for watching. This has been Omniarch. I will talk to you guys again soon. Peace.